Game started.
Oh, pawns win. Okay, he's pretty good. Pawns win. So what have I played? I haven't played e4, e5 for a while, have I? So getting the Ruy Lopez. And he's going for some main line, it looks like. So here we are. Yeah, I can go for my bishop c5 line here. See how he reacts to that. A lot of different ways to play. I think c3 is the most interesting. This is the pawn fork line. I mean the knight. Yeah, the pawn fork line. He can fork my bishop here, and what's the point? I take, and he takes with the queen, and then I defend my knight, and I'm threatening c5 and then c4, trapping the bishop. So I gain a tempo here while he has to figure this out, how to play this. Usually they move the queen, but there is actually a very exciting alternative with f4. It got played against me in a tournament game. But well, moving the queen is pretty simple, and it's probably good. Okay, yeah, so he's pausing to figure this position out. That's always good. Gives me a chance to breathe. Is that a move? Yeah, that's a move too, because the bishop has the c2 square to go to. So let's go ahead and kick the queen now. And then get my bishop here to b7, put some pressure on this pawn. He's got to defend it. I guess he needs to play, well, either bishop c2 or knight to, yeah, so he did bishop c2 voluntarily. Then I can go ahead and castle. And, you know, f4 here might still be the most dangerous way to play. I'm not sure whether my knight should go, should go over to the queen side or back to the king side. Oh, he did play that. Okay. Yeah, so that's interesting. So let's think about knight c4. It's hitting the queen, so it gains a tempo. It's putting pressure on this pawn, so he can't move the bishop. But after the queen moves, the knight's sitting there, and it's my turn. What do I do next? Yeah, maybe I can get more pressure on the... maybe I can get more pressure on the e-pawn now that he's pushed the f-pawn forward. So rook e1. And the knight can come back to b6 if it gets kicked again. Let's see. There's also this knight move on knight to g4, but that I don't see that accomplishes much. But yeah, so I would just drop the queen back to, yeah, queen e2 seems like a reasonable place. Okay, so rook to e8 is my idea. If he pushes the pawn, I will take, and then I can take with the knight or the rook. And Can't take that pawn just yet. Well, can I just grab the pawn first? I wonder if that's possible. Say bishop takes, and I bring the rook here. He could play bishop takes rook. I play rook takes queen, and I've got a queen for a bishop and a rook. I got a queen and a pawn. Let's see. The queen moves to unpin. I just take the bishop. Is there any move that defends? Yeah, he has knight to C, or knight to D2 defends the bishop. So I take, he takes, I pin. He plays knight D2. If he kicks my knight first, I take back first. Yes, I think I can take here. Should I take with the bishop or the knight? I don't know. Yeah, so if he plays b3 to hit my knight, I can take his bishop first, hitting the queen. Queen moves, and then I can save the knight. So I think this works out okay for me.
Check.
So he goes for the kamikaze. So he gets the pawn back. Now let's think. I take with the knight. If I take with the king, he gets another check. So I'll take with the knight. He gets. I didn't want him getting queen to h4 check with tempo. That could be very dangerous. You can lift the rook. This is all probably pretty dangerous anyway. But I might want my queen to come out to f3 too to help defend my king side if he brings his queen over. Let's see, where are my weaknesses? This pawn is weak after my knight gets chased away. And my king side is a little weak. Can push the f-pawn forward and come out with his bishop. Okay, just went there. Do I want to play queen f3 anyway? Queen f3 and bring the other rook over to d8. I guess I like that. So I have an extra pawn on the center, and he has an extra pawn on the king side. His king isn't necessarily in a better position than mine, though, because he has pushed the f-pawn forward. So there is that weakness there. And let's see if he kicks my knight back. As long as my knight is here, it's controlling some squares. Yeah, so he kicks it back. And I really can I come? No, I can't come there. I really want to go there, but I can't. Okay, so. Let's see, I could go to the A5 square or the B6 square. So A5 and C6 would be the idea, and then I'd be looking at these dark squares. It's not clear that it's any better, and it takes an extra move. So I still want to play rook to D8. It helps that the knight here is guarding the D5 square, I guess. I want to play rook D8 and push that pawn forward, D5, D4. And so let's do it now. While the knight's supporting it, because his knight was about to hop into e4. Okay, so the knight goes there. So now rook to d8 and push to d4. Pawn takes, knight takes, queen takes. So I've still got it covered. He can create an isolated pawn there, but it's a passed pawn.
Server announcement.
And it also opens up a square for my knight. So he's not going that way. He's bringing the knight in here. So the knight can go to that square, here, and here. Yeah, maybe it's looking at f7 is the main idea there. Let's push that pawn forward anyway. Now I can take back with the rook. Might be useful. Maybe I'll be able to put a queen on that square, and I'll be able to get a knight to d5. So what does white play here? Pushing the f-pawn forward still seems like an idea. It's good for me, I think, that my knight controls g5 here, so he can't play bishop g5 easily, even after he pushes that pawn. Okay, so rook takes or pawn takes. I still like rook takes better. It seems to be active for the rook. Doesn't leave me with a pawn that I have to defend. And the c-pawn could become a weakness too, but I was thinking rook takes pawn might threaten the knight, but not really, because he can play bishop takes rook defending the knight. Rook takes. Yeah, that would be. Let's see, if it went like this. Rook takes pawn, bishop takes rook, queen takes knight, bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop, bishop takes rook. Yeah, that's two rooks for a bishop and a knight and a pawn. That's not going to be very good. Unless there's something special happening at the end there. So I moved the queen that way and attacked my c-pawn, yeah. What to do here? Let's see, his knight can come into these two squares there. At the moment, that square is covered by the knight, that's covered by the queen. And he can attack here and here. I think I want to push on with c4. I need to. I don't want to be stuck defending the liability of the c-pawn either. So pawn takes, knight takes, rook takes is one possibility. Bishop to b7 is another possibility. But then I have rook takes pawn, rook takes f4 if he plays bishop to b2 rather. Bishop b2, rook f4. Now there's a discovered attack on my queen with the knight moves. Can the knight attack something? Well, the knight can take a pawn, come here, attacking my knight. Here I take it with the queen. Tricky position, but I think it works. I can throw in rook takes, rook check, yeah. Which would be not mate, because his rook would be defending the rook. But I could throw that in and then move the queen. Tricky, tricky. So he's using up time. It's 4 minutes to 1 minute now. Well, it is tough. Okay, what have I got here? He defended that pawn, so now bishop to b2 is more of a threat. Let's see, but if I double rooks, I could threaten to bring my rook to d2 there. That looks like a good threat, potentially. Knight here, the knight fork is something to watch out for, but the queen is covering it. So let's go for that. The bishop that way. So the bishop stays in touch with the d2 square, so I can't play rook d2. Let me see. I can throw in rook takes pawn because he can't take my rook. I will take his queen, and he doesn't have any discoveries that are worth a queen. So I can throw in pawn takes pawn. Takes back with either the queen or he takes back with the queen and threatens f2, so I don't want to do that. Let's defend my knight then. That's what I have to do. And now he goes there. I see. This is all a way to win a pawn back. Let's take with the pawn. And maybe I can do the maybe I can do the skewer trick again. Is that possible? Or the pinning trick. Yeah, so he takes there first. So at least I got the bishop. And now he can take with the queen. And that's okay. If he took with the knight, I had bishop or queen to d4 check. Would have been interesting. So what have I got now? Not a whole lot. So it's he ended up a pawn up. How did that happen? How did he end up a pawn up? Oh, that's right, because the pawns were even. The pawns were even. Okay, I can get to the 7th rank. Doesn't do a whole lot though. And my knight has no moves here. So let's try and bring my knight into the game. Well, I got him to use up his time, but unfortunately he used it well. Unfortunately for me, that is. And now things are looking pretty okay. Can he win my queen with a check? Or my rook? So if I play the knight up here, it guards d8. He has queen to c8 check. I move my king here, and the queen can check from here or here, and I have to go back. But I don't think that's more than a perpetual. I'm just worried because this rook is now loose when I play my knight here. But I need to get my knight into the game. That's the idea. He goes after my queen. That's a little unfortunate. Let's see. But if he takes the what is that? No, I can take the knight. If he moves the knight, I can take the rook. Tricky, tricky, tricky.
Check.
Let's see, rook here. Where's the checks? The check is here, and I can take with the queen. Keeps going places where I don't have a good idea. Okay, can he check me from there? No, it's not a check from there. Can pin the knight again. Wow, that was a lucky escape.
White forfeits all pawn.
That was really a tough game to play, especially as the time got low there. So a somewhat lucky win for me, but a fun game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.